All right, just thought I'd hop on and do another quick update here on what's happening. Boy, there is some torrentially heavy rain. This is a look at the watches and warnings. We have several of these aerial flood watches and then these aerial flood warnings that you're seeing in this lighter green. That is due to some very heavy rain, parts of Chilton County, Talladega County, over into Clay County as well. The focal point continues to be on the tornado threat to the south and west. So we've been watching a couple of these. We got a confirmed tornado over near the just to the south of the Quitman area. This has been confirmed in Wayne County, Mississippi. We have another tornado warning in Choctaw County. This is headed in the direction of Linden, just to the south of Demopolis. So getting closer to us here in central Alabama. So let's go to our composite radar here. And you're going to see that we've got, again, the majority of the stronger thunderstorms have been to the south and west of us here to this point because we've been north of that boundary. That boundary is making, it's trying to make some headway here, it's getting there. So notice, this is the boundary, okay? Well, I basically put temperatures of 65 and higher because that's what I think is the kind of that crucial number there, and you're seeing these storms ride right along that boundary. Now, understand we've got thunderstorms here to the north, a lot of it coming through the Birmingham metro and points to the south, but the areas in question, the severe threat is going to be along this boundary and as it lifts off to the north. So with that in mind, the severe outlook updated here for central Alabama. You're in the clear north of this line, which includes the Birmingham metro. But we got through 6 a.m., and that includes places like Demopolis, as well as, we'll go back to that, as well as Centerville, Alabaster, Clanton, Sylacauga, Alexander City, and then, of course, that enhanced risk area with the orange. That is where we're most likely to see that boundary shift to and where the threats are going to be highest. For the rest of the state, until 6 a.m., that includes Monroeville, Montgomery, Auburn, Greenville. Troy's right on that cusp where it's probably going to be towards later in the morning. We'll have to watch as this unfolds. But again, this is moving away from central Alabama. Here's another look at those temperatures, and this is so crazy to me, the temperature gradient here. So 72 in Troy to 59 in Montgomery. You see this over here? This is a cool air wedge, okay? And this cool air is not something that I don't think too many models really picked up on here. But basically what we've got is this wedge of colder air that has been kind of working against this system here. And this cold pooling right here, yeah, you're not going to have any turbulent weather in North Georgia. But look at the difference. You know, Columbus down to Eufaula, not a far drive. Used to make that all the time on 431. It's 70 in Eufaula. I'm pretty sure if we looked at Columbus, 50 degrees. There's a 20-degree difference there. Unbelievable. So that's where that boundary currently sits. And again, this boundary, this warm boundary, is working against this wedge and then the stable air that's been part of this rain off to the north. I have to say, I don't know if you can hear this in the background, but there is torrential rain coming down outside of the station at this time. Let's go move this ahead here. This is what's happening right now, right over the Hoover area, Birmingham. Again, it's 8:10. We've got some good lightning strikes with this, and let's see if we can get. There's the lightning strikes. I was hoping to get the counter up here, but again, we're seeing thunderstorm activity, just none of this is severe at this time. Doesn't mean it's not impactful to your evening. We're going to keep watching this. So let's go over to our Birmingham radar. I'm going to throw this in a loop. Very, very heavy rain from Hoover, Alabaster, Pelham, south to Calera. We're going to continue to see this, and we're going to watch areas to the south and west for the best potential of those stronger thunderstorms. Let's pan on over that direction. This is one that we're going to need to watch. This right here in Choctaw. Now, the National Weather Service is watching this closely. They say it is not a concern for us at this point. The one south of here, confirmed tornado warning for Choctaw County, but this is south and central. This would be headed into southern Marengo County. We'll watch this one as this was confirmed back in Wayne County, Mississippi. So this is where that boundary is stretched to. And if it gets any further north, southern green, southern hail, Perry County, perhaps Chilton County as well, moving forward. So all worth watching here. That's a look at kind of the big picture one more time. We'll watch these warnings as they approach our southwesternmost counties. All right, let's go to our future view, what it could look like here over the next several hours. I'm essentially starting this at 9 o'clock, not too far from when I'm recording this at about 8:10. And this is doing a pretty good job at handling this. You'll notice here we've got that line that was being depicted, and that stretches all the way up into North Georgia. The best chance of maybe some stronger thunderstorms would be on this end of it, maybe here in Chilton County as well. And it's just going to really depend on if that warm air can infiltrate these areas further to the north. I tend to think southern green, southern hail, Perry, Chilton, maybe southern Coosa County is going to be the best bet of seeing some of these strong storms. This is at 11 o'clock. You'll notice that line going right through the Clanton area, Jemison, Thorsby as well. So we'll have to watch and see if that line can hold together. And then we look at the evolution of this line. If you're down along I-85, Montgomery down to Monroeville, Evergreen, up to Auburn, this line will be parallel with you by about 2 a.m., maybe earlier. And this could be, again, a window where we have some severe weather. We have that unstable air in place there, south of 85 and south of 65. So if this line can hold together, we may see some stronger thunderstorms. Now, as we get closer to daybreak, we're losing our dynamic support, meaning our wind shear is going to be dropping. And so we should see a general weakening trend as this heads towards the Wiregrass. This is at about 3:30 in the morning. We'll move this ahead to about 6, and this is exiting Houston County, moving into early in Seminole County, Georgia. So this will be wrapping up pretty quickly as we get into Thursday morning. This is a look at storm energy. All right, so what this essentially is the energy available to get things moving vertically in the atmosphere. This has been basically the question all day, is will this warm, unstable air get far enough north? So there's the next couple of hours. I'll pause this like right at about midnight, okay? So remember we showed that line being depicted right about, let's see, let me grab my telestrator here. Right about here. So the line of thunderstorms will be right about here, but you'll notice the better instability is down here. So if those don't line up, it doesn't necessarily mean we're not going to have strong thunderstorms, but the better bet is going to be where we have that instability still lingering. So the best energy, the best cape, this is at 3 in the morning, and it's still showing a decent amount of instability energy here over the Dothan area. So we'll have to watch and see if that line holds together. That could end up being more significant, again, 3, 4 in the morning for places like Houston, Henry, Geneva, Dale, Coffee counties. That'll be something to watch as we get closer to daybreak. And then, of course, as we start the day on Thursday, we're done with the rain. All right, let's pivot. We'll come back to the radar one more time before we sign off here. This is what comes afterwards. How about Friday morning? Yeah, colder air. 29 in Birmingham, 33 in Montgomery, 40 in Dothan, 27 in Huntsville. Much colder air filtering in here, but it'll be very brief because strong warm air advection, that's when we have return flow, warm air coming off the Gulf. That'll be moving back over Alabama. And how about this? An enhanced risk. This is on Saturday, and we're going to note this area right here. We are going to see what looks to be a pretty potent line of thunderstorms that's going to come through here overnight Saturday. This will be one we'll need to watch for, and this is the more credible of the two events, talking about tonight versus Saturday. So we're going to break this one down. Let's go to Saturday, 6 o'clock in the morning, and what we're going to observe here is a big trough, an upper-level trough moving across the middle of the country, and out ahead of it, we're going to have a strong cold front. Now, you're going to note when I pull this forward, much of the day Saturday actually looks dry. We may have a few isolated showers here as we go through the day, but I don't think we're going to have much in the way of meaningful rainfall during the day. So Saturday during the day actually doesn't look too bad. Temperatures will warm into the 70s. and will destabilize. Okay, so 4 o'clock onward, this is where it gets important. So by 9 o'clock, this enters northwest Alabama. By 11 o'clock, we've got a pretty good line stretching from Chattanooga to center, Gadsden to Birmingham, down to Demopolis, Greensboro, Utah, Livingston. Okay? The lead edge of this is going to have, I think, some pretty strong winds. That'd be right about here. This could be quick moving too. That's the other thing to note is these, we call it, this is a QLCS. It's a quasi-linear convective system. A fancy term for, this is going to be a strong line of thunderstorms, some bowing, which leads to strong straight line winds and embedded tornadoes within this. So this will be one of those where you need to have ways to get notified during the overnight. This is now at 2 o'clock, and notice the headway this makes. Now at 2 o'clock, it stretches from Atlanta, LaGrange, down to Troy, all the way down towards Atmore. And this will be moving quick. A lot of wind energy with this, a lot of heavy rain, and some gusty winds. By daybreak on Sunday, I think we're in the clear. This is at 6 o'clock. And then guess what? It gets even colder, as a good, strong upper level trough will bring back some more Arctic air to the southeast. I want to go to something a little bit deeper with this, just because I find this interesting, and maybe this will explain why we're going to have the setup we have. So what I've got plotted here are winds at the surface and winds aloft at about 6 kilometers. We'll call it about 20,000 feet. So this is what we look at. We look at the profile, the change in our winds from the surface. So we'll note that our winds at the surface are coming in out of the south. Well, winds aloft are going to be westerly, and they're going to be very strong. So what we're seeing is a large difference in magnitude. Very, very strong winds aloft, weaker winds at the surface coming out of a different direction. That is our wind shear. So I'm going to play this forward, and you can see there at the surface we have our winds coming in, those streamlines, and then this is our upper air wind. So we go through much of the day, and notice this is at about midnight, okay, when that line starts to come through. So we've got southwesterly winds at the surface, west to southwesterly winds aloft, but very, very strong winds aloft. So what happens when you have strong winds aloft is when the air is moving faster up high, it's removing air. Okay, so there's an evacuation of air, which that has to be replaced. So as the air is forcibly removed aloft, air that's lower in the atmosphere moves in its place. So you get vertical motion. You have wind shear, and that change in speed, that change in direction with height can sustain some stronger thunderstorms, even if we don't have instability, which instability will be lacking with this. But a lot of wind energy here. We're going to have a pretty good low-level jet that's going to be setting up. Again, that's our wind profile at about, you call it 3,000-4,000 feet, and then again at about up to 20,000 feet. So some good strong wind energy with this. That is why I think, regardless of our actual energy available or instability, we're going to have some strong thunderstorms. So that's my scientific nerdy dive into that. All right, this is a look at our rainfall totals over the next 7 days. Omitting what we've already had here today, we look at an additional 2 to 3 inches for almost the entire state. So some decent rains are on the way. I just want to circle back one more time to our radar here. We still have this confirmed tornado warning for Choctaw. I'm keeping an eye on the National Weather Service here. Honestly, the big issue appears to be some flooding on Highway 150 in Hoover. So we got some serious issues with heavy rain, and I'll actually go to our, look at this. I mean, these rainfall rates are pretty substantial here from Hoover down to Alabaster, stretching up towards northern Shelby County, St. Clair County. This is torrentially heavy rain. You get down towards Clanton as well, and this is serious. We got a lot more lightning as well. Look at the lightning strikes here. Earlier today, we had nothing. It was just rain. Now we're seeing the added, lightning to this, which is not pleasant if you're trying to go to bed. It's also usually an indication that we are looking at more of an unstable air mass or stronger thunderstorms moving through here. So that'll be something to watch. Again, the stronger thunderstorms exist down here to the south and west. We'll have to watch this warning. This expires at 8:30. This is moving towards Linden. This is Marengo County here. There's Demopolis. There is southern Hale County, southern Greene County. So those are in our DMA. We'll have to see if this this will hold together. For the time being, the going thread is this very heavy rain. We have a couple of flash flood warnings in place. We have some aerial flood advisories as well for Shelby County. So lots of very heavy rainfall. Again, started this at about 8:10. It is now coming up on 8:30. If need be, we'll hop on the air here at ABC 3340. We're watching it very closely. Hope everybody has a good evening. Stay aware. Again, if you're north of the Birmingham area, really north of a line from I-2059 over to Anniston, points north, you're in the clear. It's the area to the south that we'll have to watch you over the next couple of hours. So that's your weather update here in the 8 o'clock hour. Have a good one.